Welcome to the third lecture of Azure Data Engineering playlist. Guys, in the earlier two videos, we understood about the fundamentals of cloud computing. And from this video, we will be understanding more about the roles and responsibilities of a Azure Data Engineer. So let's get started. We would be discussing 4 points here. We will first start with the cloud platform fundamentals, and then we will be learning about the resources and how to even create your account in Azure portal. First is horizontal services in cloud platforms. What do I mean by that? Horizontal services are those services which are common across all the domains. As we have learned that these cloud platforms, whether it would be Amazon, GCP, or Azure, they have a lot of services for different domains. Different domains, as in for different sources, different services for software engineer, different services for data engineer, different services for data scientist. Now, as a data engineer, we do not really need to understand all the 150 services. We just need to understand how much 10 to 15 services, and that's it. And now, moving on to the next, which is there are few services which are common across all the different domains, such as Azure Monitor, which is used for monitoring apps and infrastructure. Yeah, that's common. We have Azure Automation. Then we have Azure Storage Account. Azure Storage Account, why this is common service? Because see, whatever you are doing in your cloud, you will need to save any files somewhere, right? That's why Azure Storage Account is the most common service that we use. And for different cloud platforms, they have a different name. For Amazon S3, for Amazon platform, it is called S3. For Azure, it is called Azure Storage Account. For Google Cloud Platform GCP, it is called Cloud Storage. And in this series, we will be focusing, we will be understanding cloud platform using Azure. Yeah, that was about the horizontal services which are in cloud platform. Guys, but before, creating or using these services, we will first need to understand how can we connect to our cloud platforms. We will see that in the next slide. There are four ways we can connect to any, Azure cloud platform. First is using user interface, which is very simple. We can go to Google, just type Azure portal, log into that, and start using it. And that's the best way as a data engineer. Now, the other way is using command line interface. The third one is using Azure PowerShell. Now, suppose you are from admin team or you are an architect and you are very much comfortable with the command line interface and how to use it. So you can simply use this one or this one. The basic difference is that if you use command line interface, you will need to use the resources of your local machine. Now, suppose you are someone using you're using someone else laptop and you do not really want to install anything in the other laptop, so what you can do is you can use PowerShell there. So that's the third way, and we will be seeing that in a while. The fourth one is REST clients, which is nothing but REST APIs. We can connect to our Microsoft Azure using UI or REST API directly, but for this we will need but for these two, we will be needing software development kits that we first install in our laptop, and then it will be connecting us to the Microsoft Azure cloud. Let's see the first way, which is Azure portal. And why we are seeing this? Because as a data engineer, you will be using this method mostly. We can simply go to Google and type Azure portal and go to this first link. It will be asking for some verifications, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I'm already logged in. Yeah. So it will look something like this. And then you can either create the resources or do whatever you want to do. But that's the way. Guys, I am not going into detail into how to actually connect to Azure portal because as a data engineer, we are not the one creating it. We just use it. Okay. And also, as a data engineer, we do not, what we can do is we can simply email our client or our stakeholders for our Azure portal link, and then they will be providing us some link, and then we can simply click to the link and connect to our portal. Moving on to the next slide, I've already mentioned this. Data engineers are not the ones creating these resources. We just use it. Second point is create a trial account in Azure portal. Yes. The first point, it was this one, that we can connect, data engineers can connect to our Azure portal using this user interface. What we need to do it for practicing it, we will need to create a trial account. For that, you can simply go to Google and type Azure portal free trial. Let's go and try to create our free trial account there. Okay, I can create a new tab. I can type Azure portal free trial. And once I do that, okay, I will be getting this option there, and a lot of videos who just have mentioned how you can, start your account. Okay, if you see, here it is mentioned Azure free account terms and condition. You will need to go to activate your free account. So if you see, I'm logged in. Okay, and it will ask something like this. It will ask you to create your Azure free account. And what are the services? It will giving you popular services free for 12 months. Okay. And then, okay, there are few things about this trial account. Why are we creating this trial account? Because nothing is free in cloud portal. Whatever service you would be using, you would be paying for that. But as a trial account, what they do is you will need to mention and create your account. It will be giving you 13,000 or $200 credit that you can use in the first 30 days. And after that, after the credit is over, they will be asking you if you want to continue. And if you do not want to continue, they won't be charging automatically. So that's a good thing. And now let's see the few things that you can mention. You can mention the first name, middle name, last name, email address. One more thing is that you will need to provide, guys, in the phone number, you will need to provide a new phone number every time if you want to log into the Azure portal. Once a phone number is used, you cannot reuse it for trial account. Use a different phone number to verify your identity. And the company name, you can like put anything. In the PAN ID is optional. In address line, you can mention some area like Sector 24 in Gurgaon, India, something like that. And in city, you can mention the city. In state, you can mention, suppose I can mention city as Gurgaon. In state, Haryana. In postal code, I can mention. And then I might need to click on this, and I can go to next. I have not really filled the details, but once I do that, I can click on next here. When you click on this next, you will be asked a credit card or debit card number. Now, once you fill that, your trial account will get activated immediately or after like 2-3 minutes. And this is a very simple process. So once you do that, your trial account will be activated. It's quite simple. And that was about your free trial account. And once you get the access of a trial account, it will look something like this. It will have a kind of similar interface. In real world, you will not need to create your account in Azure portal. Company would be doing that for you, administrators. But just for practicing, you can do it this way. You can create a free trial account, which will be for a month. Now, as we are able to connect to our portal, let's see how we can create the Azure Storage Account, which was the horizontal service. So here I've written the steps. Go to portal, then type storage account. Let's see how we can do that. We'll be having a similar interface once your trial account is activated. So here you can see a lot of things, a lot of options are here. But for now, we are looking for storage account. So we can simply go to our search box and type STORAG account. So here you can see Azure storage accounts is here. So I've already created one, but you can simply go to create storage account. You will need to fill these three details. First is subscription, second is resource group, and the third one is storage account name. Guys, I've already filled here this one. You can click on create new to create a resource group. Resource group is nothing but a kind of bucket which holds all the related resources together. We have storage account name, so we can give any storage account name here. So suppose Arnesh one. So as you can see here, it is unique, and you can give the name of any region. Region as in your data would be saved somewhere in this location, which is West US. And you do not really need to change anything for now. You can simply click on next, 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 next. Here it is reviewing about the things that I have put there, and after that I can create. Okay. The resource has been created here. Let's go to our resource. This is the name that I had given, Arunesh1, and this is a short form for storage. As you can see, here in overview, I'm able to see the options that are there. As you can see, security is enabled, and this is that, and the blob has been created. So here, this is the blob thing. So blob means file. In Azure portal, that's a kind of terminology that we use. We call a file as blob. Blob is nothing but binary large object. And for a file, we just use this terminology that a blob has been created and blob has been moved to some other location. Let's go to this blob service. Let's click on it. And here we can see that the storage account has been created. And here I can add a container. I can simply name a container. Let me name it as YouTube. YouTube Arunesh, YouTube1 Arunesh. And when I do that, I'll be able to create a container in my root directory. So here the container name has been created, and I can go inside of it, and then I'll be able to, I can upload any file, download any file, delete any file, whatever I can do in any computer in my local disk. So I can simply go to this and upload any file, any file of any format. I can upload it here. So when I do that, in my local, I'll be able to download any file from there. As you can see here, I've already uploaded the file, and after uploading it, you can delete it, refresh it, move it, whatever you want to do. So you can simply also delete it. So this container does not care about the format of the file. It just should be a file. It can be a file of any format. Let's move on, and we have already created the storage account. But as we see here, guys, there was one thing to notice while I've created this storage account. And let's go to our resource. Creating and having blob service in Azure Storage Account is same as having a root directory. Now, what do I mean by that is, suppose you go to you purchase a new PC and it has at least one local disk which is provided, or one place where we can store our file, which is in most cases local disk C. So it is same as that. You won't be able to create a new folder here, but you can simply download, upload any kind of file here. So this is same as that. As we have already created and understood about storage account, let's move on to the next type. Azure Storage Account has also few types here. The first one is blob service or ADLS. Guys, we already created a blob service account right now. And it has also the options of file share, queue share, table share. So the basic difference between all these things is that they have different utility. For example, in blob service, we can not create further folder, right? So suppose, let me go back to my storage account, and here, if I want to create any new folder inside of this container, I cannot really create it. Okay, let me go inside the container. As you can see, I'm not getting the option to create a new folder here. I can simply, upload or download any file, but I will need to create and keep it here only. But suppose I'm in some analytics and I want to analyze and also save the files. So it would be too messy to do it here. Now what we can do is, instead of creating a blob service, we can create the second thing, which is ADLS. ADLS is nothing but a data lake storage, Azure Data Lake Storage. In the basic difference between blob service and ADLS is that in ADLS, we can create folders inside of folders. Let's go to our portal and see how we can do that. As you can see, I just created a blob service, but suppose I want to create a ADLS, I can simply go to our storage account, click on create. Once I do that, okay, so I've already selected subscription resource group. Let me select the storage account name, which is Arunesh 1 ADLS 1 STG. And I can simply click on this next. Now, uh, here we are creating ADLS. So there is a minor change and only one change that we need to do while creating our storage account. We will need to enable hierarchical namespace. Once we do that, okay, we can simply click on here to enable it. We can click on next, 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 next. We can create our ADLS here. Let's go to our resource. When we go to our resource, see the difference between both of them. Here it is showing, it was earlier showing as blob service, but here right now it is showing as data lake storage. Let's go inside of it. Here we will first need to, get the name of our container. We can go to landing for now. Give it any random name, it does not matter much. Once we create this folder, let's try to create a folder inside this. Okay, we are getting two options. We can either upload any file, same as the option we were getting in blob storage, but here we are getting another option, which is add directory. Okay, what is add directory? Let's give it another name, folder 1. Here you can see I'm able to create a new folder, but in blob service I was unable to do that. And inside of it, I can create either another folder or I can upload any file. Guys, the benefit of this feature is that it is highly used in analytics, and the utility of ADLS in analytics is very high. So we would be creating mostly ADLS accounts here. Let's go back and see the overview once. Okay, so here earlier, this is the blob service, and it is coming out to be blob service here. And if you can see, hierarchical namespace has been disabled, and in our ADLS that has been enabled. Hierarchical namespace has been enabled here. So these are the two difference between them. And here we have other services which are file share, queue share, table share. Let's see and find the difference between all of them. So the blob service, the purpose of this blob service is that it is mostly used for unstructured data storage. For ADLS, it is mostly used for big data analytics. This file share, what is this file share? The thing is, suppose there are multiple teams. There's a team working specifically on, suppose, marketing. There's another team working on analytics. They would need a common file which is used. Suppose there's a common file which is used by both the teams. Then that would be using this file share storage option there, and the file can be shared among different teams there. We have queue service also, where different teams can connect and message in one platform. And we have table storage, which is used for structured NoSQL data. So if you see, every service has a different utility. Guys, in the next video, we will be understanding that in what conditions we use these different kind of services and what are the roles and responsibilities of a data engineer in it. That's it for the video. Thank you so much.